I first saw live actors on stage when I was 6 or 7 years old. Entering the theater, I remember the huge oak staircases, loud salesmen selling t-shirts, and the dusty velvet curtains. These things made me nervous, and I couldn't wait to get to my seat so I could shrink down and disappear into the fold of the chairs. We were late. My mother took my arm and lightly propelled me through the crowded foyer and up to the balcony. I remember everything. The sweet scent of my mother's perfume, every movement of the actors and actresses as they waltzed, pirouetted, and walked gracefully across the stage. I was so captivated by the performance. When it was over, I continued to sit and stare in awe at the blackness of the empty stage, so filled with life, beauty, and drama, just a few minutes before. For weeks, I stood in front of a mirror and copying each gesture and each line I could remember because I wanted so much to be like those performers, parading across my stage constructed by a couple of cardboard boxes and a long wooden board. I also made a small place of my own, often employing my families as members and not as an audience. They were very patient with me. In 7th grade, I finally found the courage to audition for a dramatic performance. At the audition, a part of me wished that I could again shrink down into one of the plush seats in the audience. When I stepped up on that stage, my knees began to tremble and my mouth felt dry. I had a difficult time starting to speak, afraid that if I opened my mouth, no sound would emerge. I began to read with a stutter at first, but as I continued, I started to feel more comfortable. I picked a funny accent that seems to fit my character, and the other students laughed at my performance, but not in a bad ways. A week later, I ran to the drama room to see the cast list posted on the wall. I got the part along with the rest of the cast. I rehearsed for many weeks and I had such a joyous time with the rehearsal. It felt so sad when they ended. And then came our first performance and something magical happens. When I stepped up from that stage, I saw the audience staring up at me. And I spoke my first line. I became the character. I spoke as though I was saying those words and feeling those emotions for the first time. I was not myself that night. When I first walked up on that stage and felt the heat of the light and heard my own voice, I felt as though I'd come home, and I felt as though I would live forever. And when I made my final exit, I was walking on air. All worries were non-existent and all troubles were forgotten. For I knew as long as the stage remained, I could escape. As long as the stage remained, I would never die. Thank you.
Okay.